Herndon's Lincoln, the Illustrated Edition, the true story of a great life. By William H. Herndon and Jesse W. Weik. Volume 1, Part 1. Read by Blair. Dedication, 1888. To the men and women of America who have grown up since his tragic death and who have yet to learn the story of his life, this record of Abraham Lincoln is faithfully inscribed. Foreword to the Illustrated Edition by Blair. When I first read Herndon's Lincoln a few years ago, I was struck by the negative view of the president's father. Virtually every time Thomas Lincoln is mentioned by the authors, he's described in unfavorable, sometimes downright insulting terms. Roving and shiftless, tardy and inert, careless, inert, and dull, proverbially slow of movement, mentally and physically, embodied listlessness, not only devoid of energy and shiftless, but dull. The man is credited as, quote, a carpenter by trade, unquote, but the book is quick to add that, in almost every other undertaking, he was singularly unsuccessful, was what some people would call unfortunate or unlucky in all his business ventures, if in reality he ever made one. Now that's nasty, isn't it? I wondered why on earth the man is portrayed so negatively. Was he really as lazy as embodied listlessness? Or could there be another reason for Herndon's apparent disdain for the president's father? Now, folks, I'm not a professional Lincoln scholar. I've read a handful of biographies about the president, a few about the American Civil War. What I have noticed is that these other books describe Lincoln's dad in much better terms. For example, check out these quotes from a recent biography by Richard Kegel. It's called Becoming Abraham Lincoln. Quote, Tom worked diligently at his trade, building cabinets, door and window frames, and coffins. He had a hand in putting up many of the cabins, stores, and churches in the area. His reputation as an honest, reliable craftsman grew. A friend said that Tom had the best set of tools in the county. Unquote. Elsewhere, Kegel says that Thomas was, quote, the finest carpenter in the area, and that his son Abraham, quote, often worked alongside his father, who tried to teach him his craft. Unquote. It's just my opinion, of course, but that doesn't sound like a lazy man to me. As for other aspects of Thomas's character, Kegel notes that, quote, Tom Lincoln loved his new wife and always remained devoted to her. He had the Lincoln sense of humor, and Sarah played right along. Unquote. Dennis Hanks, Abraham's second cousin and a childhood friend who was close to the Lincolns for years, described Abe's dad this way, a man of great strength and courage. This is obviously a very different picture compared to the roving and shiftless character described in Herndon's Lincoln. So again, I ask the question, why the different view of Thomas in this book compared to every other biography I've read? It's a known fact that William Herndon worked for 16 years as Abraham Lincoln's law partner in Springfield, Illinois. They were good friends. In fact, Lincoln said that William, whom he called Billy, was my man always, above all other men on the globe. Billy returned the president's affection. In the preface to Herndon's Lincoln, he says, Mr. Lincoln was my warm, devoted friend. I always loved him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?